This year we kicked off our 5-year plan and worked on 5 goals that we established as a part of that 5-year plan. The 5 goals that we established were around education, employment, self-advocacy, real communities, and supporting the publicly funded system. I want to talk about each of those goals and really start off with the idea of advocacy, which we worked on this past summer around the idea of saving our Medicaid system. The Georgia Council on Developmental Disabilities worked with advocates in Georgia and across the country on an effort to save our Medicaid. Really, over the summer, Georgia Council on Developmental Disabilities was very involved in what took place around saving the Affordable Care Act and getting advocates around the state involved in working with others to make sure that Medicaid, as a part of the Affordable Care Act, was discussed amongst legislators and other policymakers before those in Washington could destroy or dismantle this very, very important funding mechanism to make sure that home and community-based services were available to people with disabilities across the state. Many of you might remember the great days of the past when we hosted Disability Day at the Capitol. And you might remember that we stopped doing that so that we could get better one-on-one conversations with our legislators. We did that by hosting advocacy days at the Capitol, multiple days instead of just one. Last year we hosted 5 advocacy days in which over 450 people came and had the opportunity to have one-on-one conversations with their individual legislators. This was an opportunity to first come to the Presbyterian Church across the street from the Capitol to have training, to talk about the issues that were important, and then walk across the street to the Capitol and actually go to the ropes, call their legislator out, and then really talk one-on-one with those legislators about what the issues are that were important to them. Whether it was Medicaid, whether it was post-secondary education, whether it was employment, or whether it was other issues like housing that were important to them and what they needed in order to have a meaningful life. Georgia Council on Developmental Disabilities continues to support its real community sites in Macon, Savannah, Clarkston, Americus, and LaGrange. We're excited that this year we got to add 2 new sites in Athens and Dahlonega. In all these places, they continue to bring people with and without disabilities together in order to solve problems in their local communities. We really think this is an innovative way of understanding what happens in our own communities and how to bring people together on a daily basis. For the last several years, the Georgia Council on Developmental Disabilities, in collaboration with a number of other programs, has been supporting and promoting post-secondary education opportunities for students with intellectual development and developmental disabilities. Throughout the state, 8 programs have emerged: Kennesaw State University, Georgia Tech, University of Georgia, Georgia State University, Columbus State University, East Georgia State University, and Albany Tech have all created programs where students with intellectual and developmental disabilities can come, learn, and pursue degrees and certificate programs. This gives them the opportunity to think about what their careers might be once they graduate, just like students without disabilities. The Georgia Council on Developmental Disabilities has also been working with project search sites across the state as well. We currently have 19 programs where students can pursue a variety of different opportunities, predominantly in hospitals, where they learn different kinds of jobs at those hospitals in different rotations, where they learn how to work with doctors, how to work with nurses, what it takes to be working in an emergency room or work in the cafeteria, whatever they might find interesting, and learn what it takes to have a job at a hospital. From there, in some of those hospitals, there is almost 100% hiring after graduation. The Georgia Council on Developmental Disabilities is only as successful as our outreach to people across the state. We are a small organization with a small number of constituents that are actually appointed by the governor as our members. So we only get our work done by reaching out to people across the state. The advocates that we work with are extremely important to us in order to get our work done. If you don't show up for advocacy days, if you don't show up to work with us, then we don't get our work done. So we really need you to be our voice.